Evening, everybody. It's Andy from Snow Camps Europe here in Kaprun, Austria, with another Sunday ski cast. So tonight I'm going to be speaking to Scott Dobson, who works with brands such as Dynastar Skis, Lange Ski Boots, Look Bindings, and Kerma ski poles, and a few other bits and pieces. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Sorry we couldn't come to you last week, but Sarah wasn't able to make it last minute, but we are going to try and get her back on in a couple of weeks. If you are watching on Facebook, please do remember you can host a watch party just by clicking the button below the picture. Also, if you want to ask any questions, then just pop them in the comments. And please do like, share, and as we say, comment. If you're watching on YouTube, hello to you. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the Snow Camps Europe YouTube channel. You'll be able to keep up with everything Snow Camps Europe through the summer and as we get ready for next winter. And again, if you want to ask a question, you just need to pop it in the comments and we will see that here and I will ask that to Scott for you. So I hope everybody is fit and well. It looks like lockdowns are coming to an end all around the world. So here we go. I'm going to bring in Scott and we will get started with the questions. Good evening, Scott.
Hi, Andy. How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you for joining us tonight. I know you're a busy man and spending your Sunday evening doing this is probably the last thing you really want to be doing.
It's fine. So we had a good night last night, so I'm ready for a quieter evening tonight.
Okay, good stuff. A bit of a party, I believe.
Yeah, we had a social meeting. First time I've seen my kids for, well, my kids are, they're young adults for 3 months, so it was nice to see them.
Right, okay, good stuff. Brilliant. Okay, so we got 17 people watching on the Snow Camps page, many more on other pages. I'm sure we're on 6 likes. Let's see that increase, please, people. So, Scott, tell everybody what you do.
Okay, well, my job is I'm the commercial agent for Dynastar, Lange, Look and Kerma for the Rosenyl group in the UK. So I look after those brands, selling, marketing, staff training, warranties, you name it. I'm a one-man band. I look after those brands for them all year round.
Okay, good stuff. Brilliant. So, Dynastar is owned by Rosenyl, then I get from that.
Yes, we're part of the Rosenyl group, so we're the nice guys.
Okay, good stuff. So, a couple of people saying good evening to us. We got Nikki in Swindon. Hi, Nikki. Fabian Steeple in Kaprun, our resident boot fitter, is watching. He's just says he's made it, and I think one of your friends or somebody who knows you, Mark, has said greetings to my old Dynastar friends. Sorry, I can't be there.
Yeah, Mark and me, we went back a few years when he was looking after Dynastar in his home country, and so yeah, we know each other well.
Okay, good stuff. Mark, you can watch on repeat. I'm sure you know that already. So let's get on with the questions, Scott. First one from Stuart. Hi, Stuart. Thank you for sending your question in. How big is the difference between a Rosenyl and a Dynastar Skis? They're the same company, so are the skis different, or are they just differently branded?
Material-wise, I suppose you could look upon it as sort of like one of the big car manufacturers. Same parts are used, so we use the same materials. Some of the wood cores are the same, but when we actually come down to the actual skis themselves, we have different dimensions. We've got different side cuts. We've got different graphics, of course, and so they are different skis for sure. We're very much two separate companies nowadays. There was a blending for a bit of things coming together when after Quicksilver went bust and there was a big buyout. So there was a big change then. But now with Dynastar, we're very much going away from working so closely with Rosenyl guys to create our own marketplace in skis. Okay,
you just mentioned Quicksilver. What was that then? I know what Quicksilver is, yeah. But what was the relationship?
Quicksilver basically owned the Rosenyl group about 8 or 9 years ago, and then when they went into Chapter 13, there was a management buyout, basically run by Bruno Cercli, who's our CEO, and he got a few financial guys involved, and so the Rosenyl group was created as such as under a new heading.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that. Learn something I learn something every week on the Ski Cast. I do.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Cool. So next question. Okay, we get one every week. It's the hot topic, and it's from John, and he's basically asking: has there been a big drop in sales due to the coronavirus?
It's kind of hard to say because in the UK, all our retailers have been shut. So there's been no business. So yes, and I certainly know that in the summer months I do a lot with the race circuit in the UK, and we're certainly seeing a drop in sales on that side of things. But the demand is picking up already. So I would say yes, but how much it's going to be affected because the order book got closed a bit early as well because of close down. So I've still got orders out there to pick up from my dealers when they officially open up again, and they're not furloughing and things like that. So it'll be hard to quantify until I think December time when we start to see really what's actually happening, and people start to travel and things like that. Then we'll see what actually happens and how it's going to. But I'm quite confident.
I think everybody has seen a decrease in sales because they weren't able to sell. Everything came to an end within 24, 48 hours. Shops closed. I know, obviously, here in Kaprun, all of the shops were stocked up, and they've probably got a lot of what will now be old stock that they're going to have to shift before they bring in the new stock. But we'll wait and see. Joseph is saying evening. Hello, Joseph.
Hey, Joe. How are you doing?
Is this somebody you know, Scott?
Yeah, Joe's a friend of mine. He loves the brands. He's working in Morzine with another friend of mine called Andy and Jerem, and they're Joe's working his way through the instructor's curricula. So and when I'm doing ski tests, he comes to help me as an ambassador for me. So he's a good lad.
Brilliant. Nice to have you watching, Joseph. Okay, next question. Let's do one off the comments that have come in. We've got one from Kathy. Is ski boot development led by change required by racers, which then filters through to the recreational skier? What is the new in ski and boot design this year? Okay.
That's a big question. On the Lange front, we have certainly what we call the plug boot, which is the race boot, and that has actually followed the retail side of things. So our new plug boots are actually using the new construction that we're using in our retail boots. The racer demand is kind of more specific. They just want a what we call a plug, a real solid boot. Yep. Where you look at the retail side of things, you've got so many different areas we're trying to cover nowadays with free ride, backcountry, piste skiing, ski boots with walk and hike mode, and group walk mechanisms and pin inserts. So there's one area that is very much concentrated on the retail, and there's a smaller part which is concentrated on the race side of things.
Okay, cool. There you go, Kathy. Kathy, if you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. Kathy has actually got, I'm thinking you might be in North America. She's got another question, actually. I was told that the same ski is manufactured with different graphics or top sheet, depending on whether it's going to be sold in North America or Europe. Is this true? Is it true, Scott?
Yes. We have an international collection of boots and skis, which is open for everybody to buy into. And then we've got subsidiaries such as North America. There's a subsidiary over there, and they have the option to pick a ski and design it or get the graphic design for that ski, and they'll then market it in the UK, in the USA under maybe a slightly different name. So they're working with some of the big resorts as well, so they'll have specific skis for them as well in certain brands. But it's not every ski goes out that way. It's just a few select models they can work with.
Okay, cool. There you go, Kathy. Answered your question, I think. We have got another person saying hello. It's Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Nice to have you back, mate. Sorry about last week. So Kevin is a regular viewer. Normally has a question or two to ask. And let's just have another look at another question we've got here. So Pavel. Hi, Pavel. Thanks for commenting with a question. He builds his own skis. And he's always interested about ski construction. Is Dynastar using any flax or carbon in some of the models? Is the first part of the question. And then he also asks, maybe you can say what the future is, if you can. Is it titanium or is it a new material? I appreciate any info. Right. People want us to predict the future.
Yeah, Back to the Future 2020. Don't go to 2020. I think so. The big classic one. Yeah. As a group, the Rosenyl group will be using lots of different materials, and they're always developing, looking at what to use. They'll be using carbon fiber weaves, different fiberglasses, different titanol, how it's cut, shaped, etc. So yes, we do use different materials, but what we're using for the future, that's the R&D boys for you, and they like to, you can go to the factory and there's this big door with a big lock on it, and you've got to be very special to go in there. So
secret.
yeah,
Secret.
yeah, authorized personnel only, and I've wandered through there, but it's been very much keeping my eyes forward and not allowed to look left or right.
Yeah, there you go, Pavel. That probably hasn't helped you much, but if we told you what was behind the door, then we would probably have to kill you, I guess.
Yeah.
He has also, he's got another question. Everybody's asking 2 questions tonight. This is about a binding. So the Look SPX Rocker Race, which is only compatible with an R22 race plate, is widely sold in Europe, but I'm unable to get the race plate. What's the reason behind this? Where are you, Pavel?
Yeah, where's Pavel? The R22 is a new plate. We brought that out last season. It's a Look development. It's not a Dynastar specific product. And the R22, well, the brace plates are available because we work with other ski brands as well. So, Look is working with, of course, Dynastar and Rosenyl. They work with Augment, for instance, and there'll be other brands we're working with. The binding alone, you can buy it, you can mount it because it's not insurmountable. You can be done that way. But the 22 plate, the latest one, was developed along with the racers to give the ski a certain characteristics in the way it works. So spare parts maybe. So it could be a case of speak to your local Look rep, agent, whatever, and ask them if it's possible. But things do break, so therefore there will be spares available. But I've not been asked for it personally, so I'm sure it will be available.
Yeah. Okay. There you go, Pavel. I think we've answered that one this time. Speak to your Look rep and order it as a spare part by the sounds of it. Okay. So a couple more people have jumped on. Just going back to Kathy. Kathy is in Bucks, not far from the snow centre in Hemel. Thank you for including me. Kathy, thank you for asking your questions. That's what this is all about. Getting your questions to people in the industry that you would probably not get to talk to. He's watching. Our other boot fitter, Colin. Hello, Colin Martin. Saying evening, chaps. Evening, Colin.
Evening, Colin. Did you get your seats back in your van?
And Fabi is saying hi to Colin also. So let's have a look at another question that's been sent in. What we got here? Sam. Hello, Sam. Thanks for sending in your question. I'm not sure whereabouts you are. What does dual core mean on the Lange RS models? What is the dual core?
Dual core. Basically, it's Lange's way of constructing our boots using 2 different densities of plastic injected into the mold at the same time. And I think you've got a slide there. Yeah. So there it is. That's what it would look like if we're using 2 different colors. So the blue is a slightly softer color, and that's used to allow the boot to wrap around your foot better, where the white material is used to give you that strength and the power transmission that you want, so down through the main clog. And in a way, it's almost like, if you can think about 2 springs, when you flex a boot, one spring is going to get compressed and one will expand. And as you release the pressure, those 2 springs are both going to pull back. And that's the whole point behind the dual core technology, is to give us that smoother flex pattern, a really nice response, without having that shin bite, which you might get, for instance, if you were skiing spring snow and you're skiing down, you suddenly hit a big lump of snow, bang, you stop dead, and your shin hits the front of your boot and it goes, ouch. When I first skied the new dual core, I did exactly that, and I got to the bottom and I just felt, wow, there was such a smooth transition of energy. It's a much more fluid movement, which was is now being used by all the World Cup racers who are using any of our race plug boots, which are made out of dual core. So it works really well.
There you go, Sam. Hopefully that's explained it for you. The next one, we got another comment. Let's see what the comment is. Kevin Butler. Scott, how do you keep the good looks?
A good woman, not too much drink, Kevin, that's for sure. Yeah. I, I mean, I go out cycling. I try and look after myself and enjoy life without being silly.
I'm guessing you know Kevin as well.
Oh yes, I've known Kevin a fair few years, and I've watched him party, and I've stood back slightly and let him carry on. He's,
Okay.
some of the ski tests, some of the boys do have the party head on, and they go to town. So I step back and let them and supply the drink for them. Sometimes we've had champagne parties once or twice on the ski tests. And
Okay,
so
good
yeah,
stuff. I think, Kevin, if I was at the ski test, I would be with you in the bar, my friend,
yeah,
because I'm definitely on the party hard side of the fence. Colin is saying he has got the seats back in the van. And
perfect.
Helen Jackson is saying, hi, Scott.
Hi, Helen.
Hello, Helen. Which one are you in that picture, Helen? Let me know. Are you the blonde or are you the dark-haired lady? Answer in the comments below. Don't tell me, Scott. This is me interacting with Helen. So, next question. Tom. Hello, Tom. He says, Lange always had blue race boots. Is there a story behind the color, or does this color plastic work better in all temperatures? So, is it a quality of the plastic, or is it just a color kind of thing?
It's if you go back to 74 and 8 like that, we used to have orange boots, and then we went into the yellow boots. The last time I was racing, my last racing period when I was with racing, it was a yellow boot, and that was 86 off the top of my head. So we have had different colors, and blue has been around now for in different colorways about 14 or 15 years, I think. So it's one of these stories that we've picked up on, and I suppose it goes nicely with the logo as well. So it's just one of those things. It's not the color doesn't make the plastic. The best color to have it to keep the plastic running is black, I'm told. So by having additives of blue, it makes the boot change it. But blue is our color, and you can see the picture behind me. It's blue. Be one with your gold boots. It's a Lange side of things. It's blue. So, and we've had it over different colors. We had a very light blue, and we've had a slightly darker blue, and now we've got the new power blue. So it stands out, and it's interesting because you can see some of the other brands are having a blue boot as well, and it's like confusing people. Oh, is that a Lange boot, or is that another one?
Yeah. So just before we go on, we've got 29 people watching on the Snowcamps page. We've only got 15 likes. I need to see those likes increase, people. You know what to do. Hit the heart button. Okay, so the color thing is kicking off now in the comments. Firstly, Fabi, who is one of our boot fitters here, he is a big fan of the yellow boot.
Oh yes.
He is asking how many pairs of that pink RS30 actually got sold. So the pink boot, this was like bringing back one of the iconic boots, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's we have a new brand manager, and he's a man who likes a bit of fun. And one of the things about the fun side of things is, we can be very serious, and we've got the blue range, we've got the RX, etc. And we brought the heritage boot. We brought the pink, slight animal name I can't mention because of Disney.
But sounds like Mantha, but begins with P.
Exactly, Durham. So that was brought in. It was a fun boot, and we had a lot of likes in it. We had a lot of guys wanting it.
Yeah.
I think as a brand, we produced 1,000 pairs.
Okay.
For the world. So it was kept. It was a more for a VIP, and it was built around the RS or the RX 130, but it's actually a 140 flex fab. It's a lovely boot.
I would have had one if they'd been, because I think they actually got sent one in the shop, and it was way too big for me. But I would have definitely had them. I would wear a pink boot.
Oh, I love mine. I mean, I've 26.5 sample size, perfect. So it was on my feet very quickly, and it got a lot of comments, and a lot of guys liked it. And yeah, it's good. It's a good boot, and there is obviously it's been out. This will be the second year with it, so maybe next year there might be a new color. Who knows?
Okay, good stuff. So Evelyn is also on this. She's saying hello. Sorry, I missed the earlier. But do you have? Yes, she's saying do you have the pink Lange boots? What's the difference? So the difference is just the color, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean it was built around there's the RS and the RX are basically two identical shells, but the subtle difference is the RS has got a solid sole unit, where the RX family has got replaceable toes and heels because of
right. Okay.
So the Heritage, the pink boot was built around the RX, so it's got replaceable toes and heels, but it actually had an RS liner in it to give it that firmer, more positive fit that we wanted. Because that boot, yeah, so that boot was aimed for the VIPs and for our top end instructors and ambassadors rather than mass market as such.
Yeah. Okay. There you go, Evelyn. That was the difference. Good stuff. Let's go back to the. Let me have a little look what we got, Scott. Oh, we've done that one. That was Kevin. Yeah. Okay. We've got a couple more coming into, but we'll go back to the pre-sent in questions. And we're moving on to skis. Jane has asked, what's the difference between a composite core and a wooden core on a ski? Well, I would guess one is wood and one is not wood, but you tell us, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, the classic construction ski was the wood core, and it was designed for the power and everything else. And then you've got the lighter weight cores, which are the PU injection, which is some people call composite. But then as things have progressed, we're now able to manufacture skis to give lightness and power, utilizing new composite materials, new PUs, etc., to give us a different way of the ski reacting. And so from the Dynastar point of view is that we still have pure injection skis, more for the junior marketplace and some areas like that, where in our retail marketplace we're creating composite cord skis with wood inserts and things like that, and depending upon the wood will give the ski a different performance and different power transmission. So depending on what we're looking at, we might look at the guys who are looking at for the verticals, the guys who like to run up the hills. They will have a very lightweight composite core with Polanyi wood core in it to give it the power and the strength we want, but the lightness. So depending on the ski, we'll use different materials to give it that performance.
Okay.
So, yeah.
There you go, Jane. Answered your question, I think. Fritz. Okay, now Fritz obviously knows his thing, or he knows his racers, because he's noticed that Henrik Kristofferson, he says, is there a difference between the regular look race binding and the colourful binding that Kristofferson uses? And this is the one that Kristofferson uses. So what's the difference between this and the regular one? Is it just the colour?
Just the colour. The PX18, which that binding is there, tends to be marketed along with the Rosenyl range of skis. It looked that green would look rather garish on our beautiful Dynastar blue skis we got coming out for next season. So we have a very strong black binding goes in our skis. So the green is very much a special for the Rosenyl boys to use. But I mean, I've got that available in the SPX 15 and things like that, so that we can get the green binding for some of our kids want it as a standout on their skis. But that particular binding is exactly the same as our PX 18 in the black that we have on our Dynastar skis. No difference whatsoever.
So I'm guessing Kristofferson's on Rosenyls, is he?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. My question, and I've just from looking at this, and funnily enough, my very first pair of new skis. I had a few second-hand pairs, but my very first pair of new skis was a pair of Dynastar Jet Flow. They had a little hole in the tip, and there was like a plastic blob, and the air would flow through it. And I'd look bindings, and there were the turntable bindings. I see that these aren't turntable. Do we still have the turntable binding?
Yes, we do. The turntable is known more as the pivot bindings. And they tend to be used by the free ride backcountry guys, where the racers are using the more solid heel unit for the power transmission. Okay,
now here's the thing: the free ride backcountry guys. So the backcountry guys are using it. I would have thought that would hinder them getting the ski on in powder and stuff like that, because it was susceptible to move around, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it does move. I mean, that the whole thing behind the pivot is it's the fact is that turntable part is directly below your heel unit and your tibia, so therefore it rotates more easily. So therefore, it's also a shorter length of mounting, so it doesn't interfere with the ski flex so much. Where if we put an SPX, for instance, on the same ski, it's got a long track on the back, so that would therefore create a slight more increase of blockage, if that's the right word, underneath the boot binding area.
Okay,
so the pivots are much shorter, so it works better.
This also probably explains why look bindings are more popular with mogul skiers then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also with the free ride boys and the guys who are playing around in the park and pipe, it's very popular with them as well, because again, the pivot has got, if you can imagine, that's the ski boot. The pivot has got these two arms that go down the side of it. Yeah. So that if the rider takes a side impact, it stops it from pinging out. Where if you have a traditional binding, just toe and heel, there's not something to hold it so tightly. So it's a combination of different things, and we stopped making it for a few years a while ago, and big ruckus. Oh, you got to have this back, so it's back as it was, and it's a binding for the future as well. It's definitely a binding that the boys are working on to improve it, give us something a bit different, but people still like it, and people love the fact that with the pivot you got this long vertical elasticity, so it really means you can go for that moment of glory. And then when you don't hit Mother Earth, it pulls you back in and you continue. So it's got the highest vertical elasticity on the marketplace. So it gives you great performance from that point of view.
Okay, good stuff. Cool. Learning more stuff again. I love it. Okay, thanks, Fritz, for that question. Brilliant. We got any more? We got another comment. Look, let me have a little look. Airflow.
Yeah, it was the airflow system at the old the Dynastar had, and then there's also the red bubbles on the tips that would stop vibration and all sorts.
Yeah, that was on the course, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that I had jet flow. They were silver, and I probably got a picture.
It could be the name of the ski called the jet flow, but the actual
was called the jet flow. I think the ski was called the jet flow. The system was called the airflow.
Yeah, the technology was airflow. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Ian is asking a question in the comments. Do you recommend Superfeet insoles?
I'm a guy who I use lots of different insoles. I'm an ambassador for A, B, and C. I have no allegiance to any one insole, to be honest with you, because I'm a ski boot man working for a ski boot. I will put any ski. I will go to. I mean, Colin will put might give me a CDAS if I mention it enough times for him. I go to another boot fitter. He might give me a Superfeet. So I use them all. I use them all, as I must admit. So Superfeet, Surefoot, they're all making foot beds.
Boot Doctor's another one, isn't it?
Boot Doctor, exactly. There's lots of brands out there, and I use them all, and I have used them all in the past as well. So I'm not anti any of them. I just use what I happen to use at the time.
There we go, Ian. So yes, he would.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll recommend any. The main thing is from a boot fitting point of view, and I'm sure any of your boot fitters on there, they will recommend to put a better footbed in than what a boot brand will supply. Yeah. You know, we as a boot brand, Lange put a reasonably good footbed in because we want the customer to feel what the boot fits like, and then a good technician will take over and will then put their preferred or for instance, Colin, I know for sure has got 3 different footbeds he will use. Yeah. And depending on what the customer requires, bang.
We have debated the footbed debate long and hard on the 2 boot fit ski casts, and also with Chris from Fisher a couple of weeks ago, because it is a hot topic at the moment, because there are some guys out there over on the other side of the world talking about footbeds quite a lot. They have big following, and people are very passionate disciples of these people, let's just say. And a lot of talk on footbeds. So Keith is saying it was airflow, and he had an Omasoft K. The red blobs on the course made good key rings. I love that course ski. I thought that looked like one of the best skis ever. You see it now, it still looks good. So I must have had airflow, jet flow skis. They were silver for sure. I've got a picture somewhere. I'll find it. Cool. Okay, so next one. Okay, Sarah wants to know, what is your go-to ski? Now, I'm guessing it's not going to be anything other than Dynastar.
Well, if you saw my my demo fleet, I've got a weapon of choice for all sorts. The ski I definitely putting aside this year is the new Speedmaster Course GS ski. That's it there. This is a new ski this season out of the family, and it is awesome. It is utterly enjoyable. Suits my type of skiing. I'm a real piste man. Being an ex-racer and instructor, I tend to ski a lot of piste, and when I'm out doing demos, etc., it's more piste I'm skiing on, and that is my weapon of choice.
Okay, what's the radius on this?
Depending on the size, it'll be coming down from about 25, 21, 19, 17 meters. I think this is a
Okay,
sort
so
of
it's like a master's kind of radius, is it?
perfect. Yeah, it's a new master ski. It's great. And
good stuff. And when you're not skiing on the piste?
Oh, I was out testing the app. That's it. The new 99, the M Pro. We got a new range of skis in the Dynastar family called the M line. And this ski here, the M Pro 99, is just sweetness when you're all over the mountain. It's great.
Okay, good stuff. I would have been surprised if we'd been putting up an RC4 or a K2, to be honest. But
well, 20 odd years or 30 years ago, it might have been an RC4, because in those days I did used to work for that brand who made the RC4s.
Brilliant, good stuff. You've been in the ski business for a long time, eh, Scott?
Yeah, 30. Well, I've been 32 years now, I think it is, as a rep or an agent.
32
Before,
years. But did you start work when you were 5 or something?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's Kevin. Kevin would smile at that point. But yeah, I started. I mean, I was 32 years ago. I started out with one brand, and prior to that, I was coaching, teaching full time, and then racing before that. So yeah, I've made my living from skiing since I left school, and skiing was my sport when I was at school as well. So yeah, I've been very lucky. It's been great. It's been a great life for me.
Good stuff.
Hence,
Cool.
hence my good looks, Kev. You know.
Yeah. Me too, Kev. Come on, Kev. Show me some love.
Show some love, yeah.
Yeah. So Sarah wants to know. No, we've done Sarah. John wants to know. Hello, John. Where are Dynastar skis made? In the Dynastar ski factory, I guess.
Absolutely. In Europe, we're a green company, so we've got the group have got two big factories. The Dynastar factory in Lange, which has been there since forever. It's our main factory, and then we have one just outside Barcelona in Artes in Spain, where we produce other skis as well. And it's where the group make their skis in the two factories.
Okay, there we go. Nice and easy, John. Okay, this is possibly the most open question there is from Jane. Hello, Jane. Sorry for laughing, but I do like your question. What is the right ski for me?
Dynastar.
Jane, that's all he's going to say, but I would say it all depends on your level of expertise, your height, your weight, where you want to ski on the mountain, many things. And if you're watching, then tell us these things, and we'll give you a ski from the or Scott will give you a ski from the Dynastar range, and then I'll give you a couple of
others.
Maybe. But yeah, it's a great question. I absolutely love it. Now we've got 34 people watching it on Snow Camps, many more on other pages as always, and only 24 likes. Hit the like button, people. Okay, yeah. So Kevin always has a question. Good work, Kevin. I was looking at getting a new set of boots from Surefoot. They only stocked Lange in their shop. Is there any reason why they only stock Lange boots? Not that there's anything wrong with them. They just don't fit my foot very well. Okay, so why does Surefoot only have Lange?
Well, they don't only just have Lange. Their shell-only program is Lange.
Okay.
But I know for sure because they've got a shop in London which I look after, and they have other brands in there as well. So because they know that not everyone will take or necessarily fit that one boot, but they will, from a Surefoot point of view, they'll actually be stocking the new XT3 shell. They've got the RS, they've got the RX, and then they've got the new LX shell as well. So in that family, they've got a 102, 197 millimeter lasted ski boot, and they then use their foam liners to give them the fit that they're looking for most of their customers. But they do have other boots as well.
Okay, cool. There you go, Kevin. Thanks for your question, mate. Fabi is asking, is the Legend model still out there?
Is the Legend still out there? The Legend has been replaced by the new M line. So it's new range of skis, new dimensions, new constructions, new marketing.
There you go, Fabi.
So in that range, there's a Pro, there's the Free, there's the Vertical, and there's a Tour. So we have something for everybody out there in that range.
Cool. Al Gibson. Do we know Al?
Yeah, I know Al. Okay. Al, he's got a little store up in the Scotland near Glasgow.
Okay, so he's saying don't read and listen at the same time. You're probably talking about me, Al. And then you say it said that Scott is an X-ray and instructor. I'm sure Scott said he was an X-racer. Maybe I was wrong though. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Al. And the reason I am reading and listening at the same time is because I am dyslexic and it takes me a fair time to read the questions, mate. But if you want to explain your comment a little bit more, then we'll bring it back up. But I'm not sure what the X-ray is related to. Any idea, Scott?
X-racer.
X-racer.
X-racer. I've been around. So I've had X-rays. I've had X-rays as well.
X-rays, yeah. Oh, fuck, haven't we all had a lot of X-rays? Dear God. Army ski racer, apparently. So Keith is saying.
He's ex-Scotty as well, so I don't know what he's on about.
Okay, but that was you raced in the army, I guess.
I was, yeah. I was racing for I was a Royal Green Jacket, so I raced for them and then went onto the army team, and then combined services and inter-services team. So I was racing full time when I was racing for the army.
Cool, brilliant. What time? We're on 38 minutes. Good. We're flying through these today. Mark, this is a good question. Mark, I learned to ski on long skinny skis, but now have short shaped skis. Do I need to learn or relearn how to ski? Is there a difference in the way we ski on the new skis versus the old? Oh yeah.
Well, I think I certainly learned on the old long skinny skis. My slalom skis were 2.5s, I had a pair of 2.10s, and downhills were 2.25s.
Mine were only 2 meter.
Great. Hey. Nowadays in modern ski, it's like a car. You know, when we learned to drive cars, we're learning to drive cars without power steering, and it was hard work. Nowadays, the new ski is power steering, nice wide shovel. So you can still ski the same way, but just take your feet apart a bit, because standing better stance on your skis, feet are slightly further apart, gives you a better stance to ski on, and still just do the same rock and roll. But the old emphasis of up and down, you know, umsteigen and downsteigen, you don't have to do that so much nowadays. It's more leg extension. I almost think it's like riding a bicycle. You know, you're pushing that leg out and stand on the edge, and the ski will take you around. And it's more, in some ways, it's more enjoyable. It's a lot more fun, less tiring. But again, make sure you get the right length of ski, because you can go for these really short skis and they flap all over the place. You think, oh my life, I don't want that. And it's coming back to that question we asked earlier on of what ski is right for me. It's finding what ski you're going to be doing. You know, for me, it's, as I said before, it's the new master, the new course master, and I'll be skiing that in a 184, I think it is. I'll be skiing on. It's a nice length of ski, and it's beautiful. Does everything for me.
It's funny you say about the up and down movement, because the Austrian system, we still teach the up and down movement, but it's not that the system hasn't evolved with the ski. It's just that the ski, the trainers of the ski instructors and the association, everybody skis on long, narrow GS skis with a big radius. so they still ski with an up and down movement. And I know there's a lot of debate, and especially the guys again down in Australia, they ski with what we would call down and weighting, so they don't come up at all. It's all the leg doing the work, let's say, retraction and extension. But the thing is, what a lot of people who watch their videos, and they've got some fantastic videos all over YouTube, is they are on very short recreational slalom skis, which if they were on I don't know, if they stood at 5'7" and were on a 185, 190 GS ski with 30 odd meter radius, they probably wouldn't be able to ski in the same way. But it does look impressive. But the Austrians, we still do up and down.
I think Basie still does a bit of up and down as well. It's not that overemphasis side of things. Oh, I've got it up and down. It's more subtle and smoother.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. So I suppose Mark had a second part to his question, which is what are the benefits of a modern ski, which I think we've kind of answered there anyway. So last couple of questions that we had pre-sent in. If there's any more for the comments, I see a couple more we've not read out. Hang on. Tayton is a regular watcher of the show. He's a ski teacher in Upper Austria, and he's asking, where do you test the new Dynastar skis? Is there a way of getting involved?
That's a good question. For instance, in early January, there is the Dynastar have their own big test where they bring in all their dealers, etc., to we did in Chamonix this year, Argentière this year. And so, each country will bring their key accounts and things like that to come. And then as a country, the boys will be out in the mountain in certain areas with a test tent up with a range of skis. And you can literally rock up and speak to the boys when they're doing their tests. And, you hand your credit card over and your skis, and you'll then take a pair of new Dynastars out, ski on them, and come back. And the boys will then give you your old skis back and credit card, and you go to the shop and buy a new pair. So there will be tests all over the place being done.
Yeah, there is. Where's the UK ski test now? Where the
we were supposed to be in Pila this year, but that got pulled because of the Corona side of things. So it was
Pila, right? Yeah.
Pila, yeah. Prior to that, the year before, we were Pila last year as well. And before that, we've been all over Austria as well. We move around every 4 or 5 years to new resorts.
Because it was in Kutai for a couple of years, wasn't it?
We had Kutai. Kutai was great. That was about 7 years in total we were there.
Okay.
And then we went to Gerlos and then moved to Pila again.
Oh, I didn't know you were in Gerlos. That's just up the road.
Yeah, okay. No, we're in Gerlos for 1 year.
We've got to the bottom of the X-ray. The X-ray thing, and I now understand your comment, Al, and Fabi has also pointed out. Okay, so if you're watching on Facebook annoyingly puts subtitles on this, and they are absolutely atrocious. You can turn them off, and if you are watching on repeat, you can also turn them off. It is something that I believe the owners of the app that we are using are working on, but unfortunately, those subtitles are generated automatically by Facebook, and they don't work with my dialect and probably not with Scott's dialect, because I have a totally messed up Northwest Scouse Austrian news. And obviously Scott has got a Scottish accent, so Facebook probably doesn't understand us because we're not from Chicago, let's say. Nothing wrong with people from Chicago, my favorite airport. Okay, so what else have we got? There's a rumor, or Fabi is saying, I miss you guys in Kutai, Austria. That was always fun. Yep. And there's a rumor. Oh, maybe the rumor is, and Fabi may have predicted it, that you're coming back to Austria. Let's hope so, because then we can all go and party with Keith. If Keith's there. It was Keith that was the party animal, wasn't it?
Kevin.
Oh, sorry, Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, we're all party animals, but it's just how much we party. I mean, I've seen some boys turn up the next morning still under the weather a wee bitty.
Me and Fabian Steeple are in that party, I tell you. Okay, so Keith is at. Are the Lange girls ever going to reappear? My bedroom walls are boring these days. I doubt they're going to reappear because they're probably not allowed to anymore.
It's the old PC side of things, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I'd love to have it back, and the Polish boys did it for a couple of years afterwards as well. They did a great couple of Lange girls, but unfortunately, the powers that be, the management have decided that it's not PC.
Yeah. Yeah,
But hey.
we all love to see them back.
Yeah.
Kevin is saying he's remembering his first skis, also a pair of Dynastars, course, must have been around 84, 85. I would think that's about right. I remember they were red and white. Oh yeah, they were red and white before they went gold. Yeah. Would love to try the old skis out again. Yeah, Kevin. Brilliant. What else have we got? We got a couple more that have been sent in prior to the show. We'll quickly rattle through them, and then we'll probably wrap this up. Okay, Mary's asking, what's the best way to transport her skis? Now, I'm guessing she means when she goes on holiday.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, there's lots of Dynastar sell nice bags to put them in.
Other bags are also available.
Yeah, other bags are. It's an interesting one because I was in a resort one day and I saw these guys turn up they'd driven out and they put their skis on the roof rack without any protection. And my goodness gracious me, those skis needed to be serviced because the edges were pretty rusty. So certainly if you're traveling, if you're going by car, roof boxes always works well because you can put your skis in the roof box, your sticks, your drinks, your food, everything else. But if you're certainly flying, is put them in a good ski bag. Put an extra way of taking a few pairs of ski bits and bobs. Just wrap them around the bindings as well to protect the bindings so they don't go through the ski bag. Yeah. But always put them in a bag when you're traveling. It's for sure. And there's other ones out there. There's the big hard plastic ones. They're always very useful as well. But yeah, I think
the airlines are still not fans of the big plastic ones, are they?
No.
They kicked off a lot when they first came out. I always used to stuff all my socks and my skiing underwear, let's say, thermals. I think we called them back then. Yeah. What are they now? They're base layers now, aren't they? We used to call them thermals, and they always came from Halford, Millets, didn't they? But yeah, I used to put all my base layers in. They're all my socks in with my skis. Okay, so Alistair's asking a question. So I went to school. No, I didn't go to school with Alistair. I grew up with Alistair. We were friends. We've not seen each other for a long, long time. And he's saying when he first skied on a dry ski slope with me, I put him on 2-meter skis. He's 5'11", and he now skis on 170s. Or 170 centimeter skis. Are these too small? So what's 5'11" in centimeters?
5'11" will be about one. I mean, I'm 5'11 and a half, so that equates about 180 centimeters. So
170.
170s.
It's not too bad, mate. It's not too small. You could probably,
it's that area there.
Yeah.
It depends on the ski as well. Remember, we talked earlier on what ski to go for. If you're going back country, you want a long ski because you've got the weight distribution. If you're going slalom, it's 165. That's it. Bang, off you go.
Shorter. So it's probably not too short and it's probably not too long, mate, to be honest. But again, as Scott says, what ski is it? And also, what's your weight? Because your weight's going to have a big, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it's going to be a big factor. Influence. That's the word, influence. Mark, do you agree with Andy Rose that you only need one pair of skis to do it all? Mark. So my philosophy, Scott, is one pair of skis for everything. It doesn't matter what I'm skiing, whether it's on-piste, off-piste, bumps, slush, crud, powder. I do it on the one ski. I only have one ski. Up until this winter, it's always been a detuned GS ski or a World Cup GS ski. This year I changed because I was offered a slightly different, slightly shorter radius. I think it's probably a piste performance ski. But again, I will do everything on that one ski. And Mark wants to know, is that the right way, or should you have lots of pairs of skis?
Support the ski industry, lots of pairs of skis. It's again, it comes back to the person at the end of the day.
How many cars do you have?
Yeah, I have one car, does everything. It's a beautiful, same car as Colin Martin's got. It's a great piece of kit. Pairs of skis, you know, I have a van full of skis to play around in. But I have a weapon of choice, and that is, you know, it is a GS ski. And I have been known to be skiing with customers who have been skiing on wider bodies, 96, 99 middle, and they've, oh, we're going to ski that piece over there, Scott. You're going to come with us? And it's like, yeah. On those, yeah, why not? You know, you got it, you can flaunt it.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing, Mark, I do have to admit that a couple of weeks ago we were up on a glacier. The snow was as heavy as you like. There's a video on the YouTube. I think it was, it's one of the last 3 or 4 videos we posted. And there's myself, there's Christoph from Fisher, Fabi, and we were with Keith Webb from the Facebook Ski Club. And we were flying down it wasn't the nicest conditions, and 2 of the guys had very wide skis on, and I do actually wish on that day I'd been on a slightly wider, softer ski, because it just would have made my legs not hurt as much. But you can do everything on one ski.
Yeah, it has been done.
Yeah, thanks for your question, Mark. Hopefully see you out here again sometime. Mark came on one of our camps a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. So I think we got one more to go. Okay, so we talked about where the skis were made. Trevor's asking, are all of the Dynastar skis handmade, or are they made by machines or robots like cars would be?
Yeah. No, it's still very labor intensive. Of course, we use a lot of machinery. You know, the wood cores are all milled and planed down, but the actual putting the ski together is done by people. It's still a hands-on job.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah,
cool. Brilliant.
Definitely.
Brilliant. I think I'm just going to check back through the comments and the questions that we've not missed anybody out. I think we've got them all. Yeah, cool. We did. Well, thank you, Scott. Again, for me, and I'm sure everybody else, very educational and insightful questions and answers. 32 current live viewers on Snow Camps and 27 likes. Let's see some more likes before we go, people. Thank you very much, Scott, for joining us tonight. And if we get any more questions coming in, then Scott will jump on the comments and he'll answer them in the coming days, I'm sure. And if not, then I will try and do my best to get an answer for you.
It's my pleasure. It's been fun doing this. It's nice to, you know, the thing is, people, you know, I've been a rep, say, for 32 years, and it's still a lot of fun talking to the end consumer and seeing what they want and see what we can do them, you know. And yep, Dynastar is there. You know, I've had 14 great years with Dynastar, but I have worked for other brands before, and you know, it's been a lot of fun, and I love my job. It's a nice thing is, you know, you can get up in the morning and think, going skiing.
Yeah. I say this all the time, especially on my lives during the winter. We are extremely lucky to work in the profession that is actually our hobby, and it makes a very big difference. Fabi saying, thank you very much, Scott, for all of the inputs. It was very clear and spot on. Awesome. Good job. Al, thanks, Al, for pointing out the subtitles are dodgy. Cheers, mate. Pavel, thank you. Pavel was watching. Pavel, where are you from, my friend? Are we seeing Fabi's? Colin, who's on next week? Good question, Colin. Hopefully I can get Sarah on next week. We are lining up guests. If anybody out there has a contact or knows somebody, or you would like me to speak to somebody on the SkiCast, then do give me a name and we'll try and get them on. We are open to talk to anybody and everybody from any part of the skiing world, to be honest. So far, we've had an Olympic mogul skier. We've had Colin and Fabi, the boot fitters. We've had Scott from the brand side, Christoph from Fisher. We had Mike from Data Wax talking about ski servicing. He is going to be coming back to do a second show because we've got a lot of outstanding questions about ski servicing. Sarah, GB Junior Racer, Charlie Guest is potentially coming on the show. She is a World Cup team. But yeah, we would love to have anybody that has got something to tell, basically. So thank you once again, Scott. A couple more people saying thank you. Thanks. Good stuff tonight. Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for watching. Steve, great program, guys. And Keith, great job again, guys. Better than going to Sunday, man.
Bless you, my son.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, we're gonna call it, folks. Just short of an hour. Thank you very much, everybody. Don't forget, like, share, comment. Come back next week, and I will let you know in the coming days who I'll be speaking to. Thank you, Scott, and bye-bye for now, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for everything. Take care. Happy skiing. Stay safe.
Ski Dynastar.
Ski